Okay, so if I were coaching a British actor to maybe adopt an East Tennessee accent, we could talk about how certain sounds merge in that accent. So in a standard British accent, if I said pin and pen, you can hear there are two distinct sounds: pin, the I of pin, and the E of pen. Whereas here in East Tennessee, and I hope I don't offend anyone because I'm not local, you would hear pin and pin. So you would hear exactly the same sound in those words. So phoneticians and people who study phonetics and the sounds and accents call that the pin-pen merger, where you use the same sound for both those words, pin and pen, rather than in England where we say pin and pen, rather than pin and pin. Exactly the same. It's really important that the accent that you use is specific and historically accurate and detailed in terms of how you research, work on, and then perform. So if you're working on a play by George Bernard Shaw, for instance, that accent is coming from a very specific historical period. So it would be very different in terms of a standard British accent to the standard British accent you would hear today in 2015. So for an actor, part of your research in terms of learning an accent would be to go and look at what are the historical differences. So we would talk about that as being a more heightened British accent. You hear heightened British accents on TV series like Downton Abbey. So the posh people who live upstairs in Downton Abbey have heightened British accents. And what you will also hear in Downton Abbey is that the people who work downstairs, the servants, all have working class accents, and they maybe are from places like Yorkshire. So you hear some of the servants have kind of like a Yorkshire accent. You might also hear something like Welsh. You also have a Scottish accent downstairs in Downton Abbey. So the housekeeper has a Scottish accent. So all these accents have working class connotations, whereas the people upstairs have that very kind of posh, heightened standard British.